Hi, it's Lucinda Curran here from Eco Health Solutions. I wanted to have a quick chat with you today about your mobile phone, metal objects in your pockets, and the SAR exposure levels. So the first thing I wanted to let you know about is the quickest and easiest way to virtually double your SAR exposure. Now, just a note before I get there. There's a little bit tongue-in-cheek. I want you to know how to double it so you can know how to avoid doing that, okay? So I'm not recommending you do that. So here's the thing. There's been a whole lot of research that's showing that having simply 3 metal objects in your pocket, along with your mobile phone, can virtually double your SAR exposure. Now, a lot of you may already know what the SAR exposure is, but some of you may not. So the SAR exposure rating is basically what the government has decided, or those who set the standards have decided is a safe level of exposure to your mobile phone. I'll explain a little bit more about that in a moment. So they set the standards at a certain level and say, well, this is safe. However, by having having 3 objects in your pocket can almost double that exposure, making it, very, very unsafe. Simply by just having 3 metal objects, so it could be, coins or keys, or even having some jewelry. So there's a few things, I'm not trying to move that tablet there, a few things to be thinking about with regards to that. So think about what is in your pockets, think about where you carry your phone. Now the other thing is, the SAR exposure is also based on you not being in physical contact with your phone. If you go into the settings, you can find out how far away you need to be from it to be safe according to these SAR levels. Now the next level of all of this is, I think the SAR exposure levels are a big furphy. They're based on a system that in my mind makes no sense at all. They're looking at what it takes for the radio frequency radiation from the mobile phone to cause thermal effects. And the way they measure this is completely absurd in my mind. So what they do is they take a dummy, or they make a dummy, a plastic dummy, that is meant to or intended to replicate like a US Army person, so like a big burly guy, which a lot of us aren't big burly guys, and they fill his plastic head with water. The next step is they put the phone at a distance away and use it, and basically they're measuring the distance and the duration it takes for the water in his plastic dummy head to be heated. And that's all it's based on. So given that at the moment is all our safety ratings are based on, according to the authorities, the SAR levels is kind of a bit irrelevant anyway, because it's not looking at anything other than thermal effects. Now, for people who are sensitive, they would realise there are many, many more effects before you get heating of tissues. So people get all sorts of symptoms. They get pain, and I know a lot of people get TMJ and jaw pain and teeth pain, and a lot of that is to do with where they've got metal fillings. So it's almost working like an antenna. There can be nerve pain, tingling, tinnitus, sleep disruption, busy dreams, angry outbursts, agitation, a whole lot of other things that I see with people who've got exposure to radio frequency radiation, which is to do with all our wireless technology. And all of these things are nothing to do with thermal effects. So yeah, things need to change in terms of the standards, but just to let you know, if you are purely basing it on the standards that we've been given, the SAR exposure rating, then you do not want to have your phone in vicinity of 3 metal objects. So I sort of think about too in terms of metal framed glasses, which is why mine are all plastic framed now, braces, jewelry, earrings, piercings, rings, all of that kind of thing. They count as metal objects on our body, and I don't know what the results are. If you had 9 or 10 or 12 or 50 metal objects, you might have a pocket full of coins. I don't know what those ratings are, but simply 3 will virtually double that. So bear that in mind. You now know, and so you can take steps to do what you can to avoid doing that. I always recommend having my phone or your phone in flight mode before you carry it or put it on your body. That's what I do, and I'd encourage you to do the same. So keep safe, think about it, make your own decisions based on your safety and well-being, and have a fantastic day. I'll catch up with you soon.